anyone who has a diagnosis, by virtue of the diagnosis itself, is going to have needs that should be supported,
Mhm.
potentially treated. It depends on what the needs are. But your experiences to be able to see, certainly for Ava, to see what she needs and for the family to be responsive. My name is Nancy Marchese. I'm a board certified doctoral level behavior analyst and a clinical psychologist. My goal is to help 2 million children with autism and their families by transforming their lives, and I can't wait to help you too. To her is very different than perhaps someone whose child may be able to go to school within a fully integrated classroom, for example, still potentially have needs if they have a diagnosis. What that looks like is very different,
Mhm.
and for you to appreciate that is I think it's important for people to understand that depends on each child,
It
and
really
how do you
does.
navigate the system for each child can be so different.
It really does. I mean, when Ava was going through diagnosis, I was positive she was going to be diagnosed with autism because I mean, my son and my brother, I'd seen a lot of similar things,
Mhm.
but Ava just seemed a little different. But when she was diagnosed with severe autism, that kind of like that took my breath away. And I was terrified because I didn't know really what that meant. And I took the rest of that day, grieving and Googling. And then the next day I woke up and kind of got to work and tried to figure out what do I do now? Because it was terrifying to me. Like, what do I do? Like, to me, everything that I know, the last thing you do is Google because Google's a terrible
Sure, yeah.
idea.
But we all do it.
I We do
I
all
mean,
do it.
yeah, yeah.
But the idea of that diagnosis and what that
Yes.
meant was terrifying, and for a while, I was like, "No, the doctor must be wrong.
Mhm.
Like, it can't be." And as she started growing and developing, I started to realize, I guess the doctor is right. And because I see such a difference between her and my son and my brother, like night and day. The needs are night and day. Um, the symptoms are night and day. Everything is completely different.
So different. It's important for people to hear this. And the other piece is that I don't think we talk about autism enough to begin with as a broader
Hmm.
community. So there's a piece there that I believe is lacking. But even a further enhanced piece, at least from the experiences that I've seen in terms of, let's say, mainstream media or just regular conversation. So from, a much more public facing, let's say TV shows or whatever it might be, down to just people having talks in the coffee shops with their friends or whomever. There's even less of a conversation. There's only so much we could cover in the short amount of time we had today. If you found value in what we talked about, go to breakthroughautism.ca, join our newsletter, and also follow me on my socials.